Assalamu alaikum. Good evening to everybody. Today, BD Students Leadership Building Session number 10. Today, the session will be run by Moderator Ragib Nihal Sadab, grade 12. I just want to brief about the session. This session will be a 1 hour. Each topic will be 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes. Third topic is the debate topic, and after that, 15 minutes will be question and answer. Ragib will explain, and this 1 hour will not interfere. It is absolutely participated and controlled by moderator and his team. If we have any issues or any concern, we can in the group chat we can write, but will not interfere them and let them to lead their team. Himself. Okay, Ragib Nihal Sadab, good luck. You can start now. And please make the video on, okay?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ragib Nihal Sadab, and I'll be the moderator for this session. So I welcome you all to the BD Students Leadership Building Session number 10. And this session is going to be a bit different than our usual sessions, because other than the first two topics, the third topic is actually a debate topic. Before I get into the debate topic, I'll state the first two topics, which are how to ensure online safety, privacy, and responsible internet use. Second topic is importance of having sympathy and empathy. These first two topics are gonna be just normal discussions where the participants can share their thoughts and views regarding the topics. And the third topic is a debate topic, which states, should exams be eliminated till grade 8 in school? I'll go more further into the debate topic when we reach it. But before that, would the participants of this meeting please introduce themselves, the students? Yes, Mr. Abdullah Tafim. Yes, Mr. Tafim, would you introduce yourself, please?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I am Abdullah Tafim from Sharjah, and I study in Progressive English School in grade 11, Science.
Thank you very much. Ms. Rapunjal, would you please introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Rapunjal, and I live in Abu Dhabi, Alain, and I'm in grade 5 in Global English School. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, Sinan Fatin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. My name is Sinan. I study in grade 10 and I live in Al Ain. I also study in the International School of Choueifat.
Thank you. Abdullah Tahsin, would you introduce yourself, please?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, everybody. I am Abdullah Tahsin. I am from Bangladesh. I live in Sharjah, and currently I'm studying mechanical engineering at De Montfort University, Dubai.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who'd like to introduce themselves? Okay. So, before I start, I would like to say that towards the end of the session, the panel of judges are going to be selecting the best speaker amongst all the participants, which has never been done before. So, based on the performance of this session, the judges will be selecting whoever performed the best at the end, and they might be able to receive a certificate or something based on that. So without further ado, I would like to begin with the first topic. And my question is how to ensure online safety, privacy, and responsible internet use. So Ms. Rapunjal, would you please speak on this topic?
Okay, so basically, how can we ensure safety in online? So first of all, we don't need to like share our passwords, our personal information, and we always, when we check like websites to buy something, we always need to check like the grammar, the reviews, and then we need to like give our personal information so they could like deliver or give us the item that we want. And we also have to keep our personal information safe and not try to like go on adult websites, because I'm currently like a kid in grade 5, so I'm trying to not go to adult websites and try not to go to as much social media. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Abdullah Tafim.
Yeah. So what Miss Rapunzel said is we do not have to share our personal information and try to go less into adult websites and social media. Uh, I do agree with her, but then at the same time, when as you grow up, you cannot really live without social media. Most of us, we are always on social media because it's just one touch connection. Connecting and communicating to other people has really, this social media made it easier. So thing is, we should not share our personal information, and we should just choose to share whatever we want to share. But then some hackers, they might be able to hack our personal information. So for that, the big companies like Facebook, Instagram, they have their safety measures. We should not go into unprotected websites, because those are dangerous. And then also, we should not involve ourselves into something dangerous that could lead us to danger in real life. And then another thing that's really important is monitor our children. Like whatever they watch or whatever they use, we should really know what's going on and how can these internet things affect their daily life. And another thing is that responsibility, we should not really be on the internet too much because it can hurt our physical health. That is the most important thing. The like the Everything has been really connected online, so it's really hard for us to keep away from the net. But how much we can avoid that, that it is better for us like that. But then in order to avoid it, we have to develop healthy habits and try to keep away as much we can. That's what I have to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abdullah Tafim. Before I pick the next speaker, Mr. Rafiqul Islam, would you kindly please mute your mic? Thank you very much. Okay, so next is Mr. Abrar. Oh, it seems that he left. Okay. Mr. Sinan Fatin, would you like to speak, please?
Yes. So online safety, privacy, and using it responsibly is very important. The ways to ensure online safety and privacy is almost basically the same thing. You have to use strong passwords. This way, your password won't be easy to guess, and not and you will be the only one who will be able to access the account. And you should be the aware of the dangers of the internet, mainly like phishing, cyber attacks, worms, etc. To protect against worms, there are ways to back up data. Backing up data, it it can keep your files secured, and it basically makes them never be able to removed, even if they somehow exit your computer. You'll still have them on backup data. And another thing to ensure privacy is to use a VPN. This way, VPNs, the the people using spyware, etc., they cannot detect you. Not even the government can detect you if you're using a VPN. And a VPN, it may cost money, but it is one way to ensure privacy. and the ways to responsibly use the internet. You have to know what you're trying to do on the internet and your goal on the internet, and try to not use it too much and make it a waste of your time. This is a main problem to many children nowadays. They sit on their computers for hours at a day, and they don't stop, and they become very unproductive. Parental control can come in and try to solve this problem. And when you educate yourself about the problems of addiction, etc., then this can help you use the internet less and use it more responsibly. Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you very much. You've comprehensively touched on all different aspects of this topic, so thank you for that. Next is Mr. Abdullah Tahsin. Would you please speak?
Yes. So I completely agree with what Mr. Abdullah Tafim has said, that even though social media is something that we can get in trouble for, at the end of the day, we cannot avoid social media, because social media really connects us with different people. It keeps you updated with your daily life. But then when it comes to safe browsing, when it comes to maintaining a safe social media life, it really depends on the age group. So for example, when it comes to children, the way we can ensure their safety is monitor them. Okay, and also many manufacturers like Apple, they have those kind of settings where, you know, the parents, they can track their children's watch histories. Okay, and also like overall monitor them. And when it comes to adults, like in the persons who are in their 20s, we have to download the latest antivirus, and also look out for potential scams. Because nowadays, what I've noticed is the number of scams that adults really fall into, they're increasing day by day. And also, when it comes to overall use of social media, it's better to avoid saying something which is controversial, because it can lead to online threats and cyberbullying. So we really have to make sure that we are not vulnerable. Like, we are not vulnerable into getting into trouble, like, if you know what I mean. So yes, that's all I have to say.
Those were some really great points. Thank you very much for that. Next is Mr. Abrar. Would you like to speak?
Hello, yes. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I think you have a voice changer on.
I don't. Wait, let me check.
Hello, Mr. Abrar, you're still there?
But I don't know how to get rid of this. Yeah. Okay, can I just continue? Can you hear me? I'm like,
It's not that clear. I don't think you can. It's fine. You can use your time to fix it while we continue with the next topic.
okay.
Okay. Okay, so the next topic is the importance of having sympathy and empathy. So I'd like to ask you what the difference is between sympathy and empathy, and why are each of them important? So yes, Miss Rapunzel, would you please speak?
Okay, so the difference between sympathy and empathy is basically empathy means like when you can understand others' feeling, and like sympathy means like feeling pity of like the sorrow. Okay, and now I'm gonna explain why they're important. So, empathy is important in a lot of ways. Imagine you're just walking with your friend, and then she just like fell, and sometimes you want to hold like your crying moment or something, and like she's holding it, and then you could just understand her by seeing her face and stuff. You can like it's like the ability to understand people's feeling. And like basically for sympathy, when you see, it's not common in UAE for this, but like in Bangladesh, just imagine like you see some kids on the ground just begging for money. It kind of gives you like the pity and sorrow for that person. So that's all I have to explain. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Next is Mr. Abdullah Tafim. Would you please speak?
All right. So sympathy and empathy, they are almost the same with a difference that really is big. That is, empathy means, yeah, understanding others' feelings, putting yourself in others' shoes. But then sympathy is just the sad part of it. Empathy, you can feel happy for somebody else. You can understand his happiness. You can understand his joy. You can understand his sorrow. But sympathy means you have to feel sad for the other person. Now, sympathy and empathy are really important because human life, we are really emotional beings, and these two are one of the most important emotions you can have. And if you have these two emotions, and if you are really an empathetic person or a sympathetic person, then you can maintain relationships well, because human society is all about understanding, a mutual understanding. And if you really understand others feelings and how another person feels, and how he might think and his way of thinking, and you can adjust your tolerance level with that, then you can really be really social, and people will like you, and people will try to hang out with you because you understand him. They will say that we both have the same vibe because you understand him and he understands you. If you lack sympathy and empathy, then uh, people might try to boycott you, or they might think that you are made up of stone and you are really a boring person because you have no emotions or something. But if you have this sympathy and empathy, not only will you be benefited by the society, you can do good for the human beings, because if you feel bad for somebody and you try to help him, for example, for the less fortunate people, as Miss Rapunzel, she said that the kids in Bangladesh, I just came from Bangladesh, so I can understand what she's saying, that little kids that are even smaller than us, they're begging on the streets, they're forced into child labor, they're selling things of very cheap price just to support their family. So if you feel sympathetic for them, then you can donate something else. You can donate something that might make their day or month, because they have really low salaries. You can really help them, and it would be beneficial for them. So distributing money from the rich group to the poor group, that means that society, the equal society that we dream of. So if you have sympathy for those facts, then you can really make the society into a better place that everybody deserves. Not everybody deserves, but everybody dreams of. And if you have empathy, then you can really fit into any kind of friend group that you have. Because if, for example, if your friend celebrates his birthday or celebrates a milestone of his, and if you congratulate him and feel happy for him, then he will see that. And whenever you have success, he will try to be a part of that success, and he will try to congratulate you at the same time. And thus the bond will be unbreakable. So if you are a very sympathetic and empathetic person, then you are more mature into this society. And so it is really, really important, because if you have anger issues, if you are a really happy person, that is just your personal being, that is just your personal feelings. But if you are sympathetic and empathetic, then not only do you understand yourself, you understand others as well. So that means you are a very social person. So it is really good for you and others in the society as a whole. Thank you.
Very well spoken, Mr. Abdullah Tafim. Thank you very much for that, and Ms. Rapunzel as well. Next speaker is Mr. Sinan Fatin. Would you like to speak?
Yes. So sympathy and empathy may be different, but sometimes they can even complement each other. sympathy can be can help the person slowly develop empathy, and empathy is basically like a deeper look into someone's feelings, and you can understand them. You can understand the other person's feelings better when you put yourself in their shoes. And empathy, it plays a key role it, in resolving conflicts by helping people see different perspectives easier. And when you have felt and experienced the same thing, you'll understand their perspectives better, and this can develop your knowledge on uh, people's mental health or something. Okay. Anyways, the sympathy, it can also uh, sympathy and empathy can also develop your knowledge on people's emotions, etc. And sympathy and empathy, they can both help people people support each other and have good relationships, and it can also build trust. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Sinan. Next is Mr. Abdullah Tahsin. Would you like to speak, please?
Yes. So, first of all, I really agree on what Mr. Abdullah Tafim has said, that we humans, we are very emotional creatures. So, think about it. We humans, we can do work. Even robots created by human beings, they can also do the work. But it is the emotions that separates us from the robots or from AI or whatever it is. So, sympathy and empathy are one of the greatest emotional traits that a human being can have. So, sympathy and empathy, they might be a little bit different, but they can often relate to one another. So, sympathy and empathy, they're very good for socialization, because think about it. We humans, we are known as social creatures. Ever since the beginning of times, we have started from being nomads to creating civilizations. In all of these aspects, from every ages, we have used the trait of sympathy and empathy to build up different civilizations. We have used sympathy and empathy to help each other, to create a better society. Because if everybody would lack sympathy and empathy, then a society would not form. If we did not have this sympathy and empathy, then everybody would be selfish enough and the world would not survive. So, not only from so it's like, for example, if I'm helping a beggar, that is also a form of empathy or sympathy or whatever you want to call it. So from that level till socialization, it is not only to help the poor or the needy, but it is also important to create relationships. It is also very important to create friendships. It is also very important to create a society as a whole. So in every aspect of our life, regardless of how our behavior is, we need sympathy and empathy to thrive in this world. So that is my main point. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdullah Tahsin. You've raised some very important points regarding this topic. And our next speaker is Mr. Abrar Pro. Would you like to speak?
Hello, is my voice okay?
Alhamdulillah, yeah, it is.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. So, sympathy and empathy are you need them for to understand others' problems and help them throughout their problems. If you put yourself in others' shoe, you'll understand their problems and try to help them.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so our third and last topic is a debate topic. And before I give an introduction to this topic, I'd like to explain the rules for this debate. So as you probably see on the screen, the teams have already been decided, but it seems that Rayhan Ahmed is not in this meeting, so anyone else could take his position if they want to. Everyone's free to join and take their positions regarding the topic, which I'm gonna state in a bit. So other than that, how this debate is gonna go is, first of all, people who agree with this topic is gonna they're gonna nominate one person to open up the discussion, and from then on, after he has spoken and expressed his claims regarding the topic, someone from the opposing team is going to speak up on it and state his rebuttals if necessary. And it's going to go back to the other side and then back to the other side and back and forth. They're going to go until everyone has already spoken. And after that, I'm going to open the floor for you guys and the audience to express your views on this topic for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna hand it over to our seniors. So before I start,
just 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Today I want to tell that today we'll select the best speaker, and our honorable panel of judges, engineer Muazzem Bhai, engineer Rafiq Rafiqul Islam Talde Bhai, and engineer Khaja Ahmed Bhai. The three members of the panel, three judges of the panel, will decide who is the best speaker. End of the session. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So I'll give a brief introduction to this topic, and then after that, we could start the debate. Actually, before that, could I have hands raised for those who agree with the following topic? Should the exam be eliminated till grade 8 in school? Okay, we have 2. Is Sinan there, or anyone else would like to be in favor of this topic? Okay, we have 3. Actually, Ms. Rapunzel, I think you're with the second topic, if I'm not mistaken. Second side, I mean, the opposing side. Hello?
Which teams?
Ms. Rapunzel, I can't really hear you. Okay. Okay, so for the opposing side, would you please raise your hands? Okay, it seems only Tassin is on the opposing side. Rapunzel seems to have some issues. Okay, so I'm going to give a brief introduction of this topic. Oh, okay, so Ms. Rapunzel is here. Yeah, so
Sorry about that.
fine, it's fine.
Sorry. Okay. So basically, I think it shouldn't actually, because if we have exams at end of grade 8, it will be kind of hard and too much pressure for us, because all the topics are smashed together, and it will be hard for us to examine and stuff. But if we do it every finals, every semester 1, semester 2, semester blah blah blah, so if we do that, it will be easier. So
Okay.
basically, the teachers could test us if
Wait,
we
Ms. Punjal, wait, you're debating before I gave the introduction. You can have your time to speak in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay, not now. I'll give a brief introduction first, and then I'll tell you guys when you can start speaking, okay? So I'll give a brief introduction for this topic right now. So with the world growing more and more competitive every day and the civilization evolving faster than ever, the abolition of school exams has become a globally debated topic. And this is why some people believe that a new educational system must be adopted in order to keep up with this changing world that we're living in right now, which led to some countries banning exams from their schools. On the other hand, there are people that believe that sticking to the current system of education that we know best and improving it is, as time moves on, is our best bet. And given how prevalent this issue is around the world, it raises the important question of whether the exam should be eliminated till grade 8 in schools or not. And such exams, some people say that they're the most effective way of testing children's skills, but others believe that they hinder children's capabilities. So now I would like to ask the people who are in favor of this topic to raise their hands, whoever would like to open discussion. Okay, so I see Abrar raising his hand. Do you all agree that Abrar should open up the discussion?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Abrar, you can go on.
Okay,
You
okay.
can introduce. Okay.
So I agree with the topic, because if you're in grade 8, okay, you're already in a higher class, so exams are okay in that. But lower grades, because the exam, like if you like go in higher grades, it's gonna get harder. So for now, like all the exams should be closed till grade 8. Instead, they should do is like have a few class quizzes, and then based on that quizzes, they can give marks. That will be easier for kids to also understand and have less pressure on them, so that they don't think exams are hard. And yeah, and improve their knowledge, improve their learning. Big exams make it harder for them to think, and then like some people don't study before exams, and then at the end they'll be like, oh, what am I gonna do, and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not good, but like still it will be kind of a pressure. So instead, schools should do is like they should put small quiz, like 10 marks, 20 marks, something like that, and then like add it all up and put it in the report cards. uh, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, I'd like the people from the opposing side who are against the elimination of exams. Would you please raise your hands, whoever would like to open up? Okay. Which of you two would like to start first? Okay.
So as
Okay.
Miss Rapunzel was very eager to speak, I would like to give her the chance to speak. You can start, no problem.
Okay. Ms. Rapunzel, would you please go ahead?
Thank you very much for letting me speak. So basically, I think exams should not be cancelled, because this is the way so they could like test our minds and how they have grown. Like example, you're in grade 1 and then you're basically learning like plus minus whatever. So like in the end of the whole year or semester, they're gonna do like exam so they could see how much you learn. And in like the other times they they could help you do and improve that. And like basically you could get higher marks when you're in like grade 8 or above than that, because you know more and learned more. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rapunzel. Now I'll give the mic back to the people who are in favor of this topic. So either Abdullah Tafim or Sinan could speak. So who's going to?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, Mr. Tafim.
All right. So the topic is, should the exams be eliminated till grade 8 in school? So I would like to open with a statement from a very renowned scientist, Thomas Alva Edison. He said, "Tomorrow is my exam. and a single piece of paper cannot decide my future. Now, I do not completely agree with this, but till grade 8, when you didn't even hit puberty, I think I agree with that. Like, for example, the smaller kids, they need to learn teamwork. They need to apply whatever they learn. Now, for example, you are a very good student and you have a gifted mind and you have been learning all year. But then you do not get chance into your favorite school just because you could not get good marks. Why? Because maybe you were sick the day before exam. So all your work throughout the whole year, it's all a failure. Or whatever you know, it doesn't mean anything just because of that piece of paper. And also sometimes the teacher's moods will maybe bad. Maybe they will have an argument with their significant other and they would put bad marks purposefully. So that is another thing. So these are corrected by the teachers themselves, like the English, those subjective topics, and they can give marks based on their liking towards the student. So whatever you have worked for, just one day exam, it decides everything. Whatever, we do not need to put kids into that stress. From whenever you are into high school, 9, 10, 11, and 12, that time you can have a test because you need to learn time management. You need to handle that stress because 10 years later, you're going to be dealing with the taxes and everything. So 9, 10, 11, 12, all right, you're going to have exams. You got to have to prepare for that. But less than grade 8, what do you know about what type of seriousness do you have? You don't have those life tensions. So you shouldn't be doing with that. You should literally play and learn. You should be playing and learning. You should be doing homework. All right, to continue, you should play and learn. So for example, half of the things I learned in grade 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, they are all repeating. So what is the point of exams? And another thing, most of the things that I learned for the exams, I forget immediately. I give the paper to my teacher. Most of it happens to most of us. So what is the point? Like, you're gonna have and exam, it favors some kind of gifted students. If you are really good in some field, you are still gonna do bad in exam because you did not memorize it. This exam depends upon the memorization. You need to understand the topics. So rather, if you have practical applications, if you have assessments, assignments, and everything, you if the teachers, they have that sense of responsibility within you without the stress the exam gives, then I think it's better to not have exams till grade 8. Whenever you are big, then you can understand your own well-being. You are big enough. You understand the responsibility that you need to prepare for the exam. That's good. But grade 1, 2, 3 students, like, you guys are kids. You don't have to be stressed for that. And another thing about the exams is that these exams, whatever they do is they cram the whole books into just some kind of quiz or something, like some kind of 5, 10 questions from chapter that you have learned so big. So what is the use? What is the use? You have learned every other thing, but then those do not come in the exams. So rather, you do assignments that asks you question from every part of the topic, makes you, and you can cut marks based on whether you have completed the assignment or not. Nowadays, the technologies came that can detect whether you have used chat GPT or not, whether you have copied that plagiarism. You can literally detect whether you have copied it off from somewhere or not. So how about you show your own creativity, but in projects, but not have exams? Because if you have exams, it's just one day test for the entire year, and that's from a part of something, of whole vast syllabus you have studied from. So that's what I think. That's why I think that the exams should be eliminated till grade 8 in school, emphasizing on grade 8 and eliminated. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tafim. Now, switching over to the next side, we have Tassin and Raihan remaining. Okay. Tassin, you can go on.
Okay. So the reason why I am against banning exams till 8th is because, yes, it does pressurize children. But what most people don't realize is, ever since the education starts for a child, it is the time that they have they undergo the most enormous brain development. So it is very important for the child to learn new things and to see how much that person has improved. We need exams. Now, I am a tutor. I understand how a child's brain works. And trust me, I've had troubles teaching children who have difficulties because they were neglected in the earlier years. So, what's the use of studying everything unless you don't test yourself? Now, don't get me wrong. When I say that I'm against banning exams, I do not mean that one night before the exam, you just have to write it in a piece of paper. No. What I am saying is we have to take exam in the form of paper as well as we do the practical work. So that's my whole theory. That is to test out the progress of the child, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, the world is very competitive. Now, exam is something that prepares the child for competition, because if you do not prepare yourself for the real world, then there is no use of studying. So not only does exams they check your progress, they also help you build self-confidence. They help you build more enthusiasm. They also help you be more competitive overall. Now, what's wrong with today's world is that they are taking exams in the wrong way. Now, my number one thing that I hate the most is the Indian system of exams. Because trust me, that me, ever since when I was a child, I've studied in Bangladeshi syllabus as well as Indian syllabus. So the reason why most of the children is pressurized is because all they do is learn books and books. They just learn big piles of books and they just vomit it in front of the exam paper. Now, what I am saying is not to ban the exams, but to give the exams in the most practical way as possible. So that's how you can really check your progress. But then that does not also mean that you have to ban the exams. So banning the exams will hamper the progress of the children. Parents would not be able to understand how much their children has improved. So that's my argument. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Abdullah Tahsin. So back to the ones in favor. We have Sinan Fatin. Would you like to speak?
Yes, I would like to speak. The reason why I want exams to be eliminated, because focusing on final exams at the end of each term or the end of the last term, that you basically have to memorize everything. When you don't have exams until like grade 8, and the teachers give you like quizzes at the end of every class and try to test you on what you have understand from the current class. This way you can develop an understanding of the subject instead of fully memorizing everything. A deep understanding on something can help you remember something longer than when you memorize something from a book. Let's say history, right? Understanding history, it's completely different from memorizing history. As understand, it can stay longer in your head, and you will be able to memorize it, and memorize it better than just memorizing history from a book and then doing it for an exam. Understanding the history can also help you understand what the world has gone through, and it can even help students perform better in some subjects that they're not good at. Let's say someone is good at linguistics and math, but they're not good at like science or biology or history, whatever, etc. Helping these students to understand these subjects will not make a weakness of that subject in them. And making quizzes for the students at the end of each class, it can also develop the attention span of students. Nowadays, a lot of people they scroll through like TikTok and YouTube shorts, whatever, and the attention span it just decreases, especially for young children. And normally they have a mentality of a young child, and they can't really focus in the class fully for the whole period. And trying to make quizzes at the end of each class and making them understand can eventually help them upgrade their attention span and help them understand their weaknesses and strengths. And that's about it.
Thank you very much. So most of the speakers have already spoken. So now I'd like to open the stage if anyone would like to add something. Okay, Mr. Raihan Ahmed, would you like to speak?
Actually, yeah, I'm the speaker for the, against if exams should be eliminated. Now, should I present my point, or are we gonna continue with the rest of the? If time is an issue, of course.
Time is not an issue. You can proceed with your points if you want.
Well, okay. In that case, so now the topic is about whether exams should be eliminated in grade 8, till grade 8. So now what I want to get clear is that examinations are actually a benchmark to see if that the student is actually has understand the material and is capable of that has the necessary thinking skills in order to apply that knowledge that they've learned in order for them to be able to understand and be able to basically, I guess you could say, handle the next grade. Now, because the school system, the education system, is usually catered towards children who aren't the brightest, children who are slower in their studies and have more struggle more. It's the education system is more lenient towards them and more oriented in their favor, and so that these exams are actually meant for the betterment of those students. Because if they are, let's say, exams were to be eliminated, a student would be able to go from, let's say, grade 6 to 7 to 8, just as like that. And this will all be done without the teachers having any idea of whether they would be able to actually if they fully have understood the material in the previous grade and are going to be able to handle the next one. I know a lot of students who might have been, who aren't able to actually keep up with the current grade they're in because they've been placed a grade higher than what they're actually capable of. And, even with that, some, it also relates to age and their overall learning ability. Some children may not be able to perform at the higher level due to certain disabilities, and thus removing exams would basically not be able to let us know if these kids are able to handle that grade they're in, and thus we wouldn't be able to understand that if they will be able to properly succeed in the next grade. So these exams are a benchmark of their ability and their skills that they've developed up until that point. If the certain student is unable to meet that criteria for that next grade, simply they will be retaking the year, which is a very sad thing. However, it's also necessary in order for them to not, be put under a lot of pressure with the higher grades. It could be that if someone who hasn't completely understood grade 9, actually, instead of that, an example I could take is from COVID time. So a lot of students in my school, in my grade, took grade 9 in COVID. And when they came over to grade 10, it would seem that they were unable to actually understand the material and the topics being taught at that class, simply because they They hadn't studied properly. They had cheated. They didn't take time to listen to classes and all of that. So this caused them to struggle a lot in their grade 10 examinations, which were the board examinations, the official ones. Now, so this, if they were to take the grade 9 exams properly, they could have seen that this was the case and then taken appropriate action. But instead, due to the COVID time, we had to adjust to that period and like that. So exams, I believe, are important for this reason, is to actually see if the student is ready for the next grade, and they will be able to handle it. So that's just my opinion on the examination.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rehan Ahmed. Now, would anyone else like to share their thoughts? Mr. Abdullah Tafim?
Yes. So the goal of learning in school is because you want, just for the sake of learning, you have to brighten your lives with that kind of knowledge that you have, because knowledge is a gift that none can take. Even if they kill you, you'll still die as a knowledgeable human being. Money they can take. Whatever you have else, assets, they can take. But what they can't take is your knowledge. So rather than that, what Mr. Rehan has said is that he used the example of grade 9. I agree with him. Grade 9 should have exams, but not grade 8 or like the grades below that. Because if the grades below that, the students, they study just for the sake of topping in the exams or to maybe make their parents happy. In 2023, over 13,000 students under grade 9, under the age of 18, they have committed suicide. Just over 2,000 of them, their reasons were because they failed in exams. So is life just like is life that part, just that where an exam or a piece of paper decides your worth? It's not like that. So when you are small, so you just have to learn for the sake of learning, because whatever you learn in grade 7 and 8, it comes in grade 9, but then just an advanced part. So why not take exams on the advanced part and just keep on learning from grade 7, 6, because they do not have the understanding to really think about the exams. They have to, the teachers, they should push the students into interesting topics and just playfully making them learn. So if you're playfully learning and really understanding those topics rather than just memorizing, what I have seen in my school and the Indian students in general, they just memorize everything without even understanding. The teachers, they give worksheets, and the students, they memorize from those worksheets. And so when they memorize from those worksheets, they actually pass the exam with really good marks, because most of the questions, they come from those worksheets. So what's the point in studying at all if you're not just learning it for the sake of knowledge? Now, grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, those are the big students. Those are the seniors. If you are a senior, like in a school, usually you are a junior or a sophomore in that high school. If you have gone to high school, then you are responsible. Then you have the minds to cheat. Then you know what's the behavior. Then you have a cunning behavior. Then you understand how world works, that it is not fair. So you try to really put yourself in an advantageous position on that. That's why you tend to cheat in grade 9. But what you have seen is that the students, they still try to cheat whether the teachers are present or not. So what is the point of exams in grade 6 and 7? This just builds stress, makes them hate the education system, and the students, they misunderstand that the teachers are they are there for the sake of learning, like they are trying to help us. Most of the students, they misunderstand the education system and blame the everything that happens in the school on the education system. What the education system is trying to do, they are going to better our lives so that we are knowledgeable, we die as knowledgeable human beings. But then when an exam, it decides whatever fate we are going to have, that's too much, in my opinion. That gives the paper too much control. So what I think is that give them quizzes, give them assessments, and then make them test, but not in an final exam type. Make them in a playful environment, because you're not big enough to understand with the time. You can understand time management in a playful way, in a teamwork type of way. You don't have to give exams in grade 7, in grade 6, in grade 5, grade 4, grade 3, grade 2. These are the times where you learn something and you try to keep it in your mind. Now, if the exams, they test, but then they put you into stress, making you hate the education system. So I think the learning part comes before, and then the responsibility builds slowly and slowly. So when you are in smaller classes, you just try to learn. You try to learn because those topics are gonna come either ways in grade 9 or 10. So give those exams in grade 9 or 10 and just study. Just study and just try to learn and keep and preserve that knowledge in your mind in grade 4 or 5. You don't need to be tested, and you definitely do not need to commit suicides because you got a little low marks, or be devalued by your parents just because you got low marks. Because the world is competitive, but I don't think you should put that mindset into children, because then they will develop jealousy, they will develop envying, and they will develop a sense of like worthlessness. So that's what I think. That's why I think it should be eliminated till grade 8. After that, when you're responsible, where you think about yourselves, your family, everything around you, then I think you should give the exams. Not before grade 8, not after grade 8.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Tafim. Now, I'd like to hand over the mic to the opposing side. I see that Abrar has raised his hand, but could you wait a bit and let Rayhan speak? That's okay? Okay.
Okay, well, okay. So first, I'd like to actually clear some points. First, about what I said, my example that was given, I gave a grade 9 example because it was actually what I personally experienced. Now, this was actually the same case for the grades below me too, and overall in my school. Now, moving on from that, I'd like to say that when you say that students commit suicides because of scoring low grades, you can say that this is a fault of the examination system, more of the parents putting such a and how the parents raise those children in a way that in a environment that if they were to fail their exams or score low grades, they would basically be worthless. You can't put that on the examination system. I feel like that responsibility should fall on the parents to be responsible enough to raise their children properly and in a manner that would encourage positive thinking, even when they may score lower grades in examinations. Now, moving also apart from that, you did. I do agree. Like you made some good points. However, I'd like to say that when you say that the examination systems up to like the examination, like they should be taught. They should be taught for fun. This and that. I do agree with those points. However, the examinations, the topic is, if you want to get technical about it, it's actually just about if examinations itself should be eliminated before grade 8. However, now what you talked about was that students don't have fun while studying. They get a lot of pressure, the worksheets, then they just memorize is all they do. Now that's a fault. That in that case, you can't blame it on the examination itself, rather as the school or the teachers that are teaching you. Now, I'll speak from personal experience. In my grade, where a lot of like maths, let's say maths is not a subject that's liked by everyone because it's very difficult and not a lot of people enjoy it. It's not very enjoyable. So obviously, when the kids in my grade, they wouldn't like when it's mathematics subject. When it's maths period, they don't want to attend the class. But we had a good teacher who was very fun, who was very positive and energetic, and taught us maths while at the same time keeping the class fun. Now, at that year, we actually gave our examinations, and the overall class had a higher grade than usual. Now, to say that that it lied on the examinations, it was because of the examination can't be said, because that year's examination was actually much harder than previous years when you compared the difficulty of the questions. So what can be taken away from what I'm saying is when you try to put the blame on the examinations, it can't really be put at fault. It's more of the school and the teachers that are being hired at that school and the way the school conducts their education of the students. While I do understand a lot of teachers may just enter the class and speak in a monotone voice about, you have this. Okay, students will learn about this. I understand that, and I understand it gets very boring. However, that can be placed, that isn't a necessary good reason to eliminate exams before grade 8. As I said earlier, grade examinations are a benchmark. A lot of students aren't actually able to keep up with higher performing students. Now, obviously, in a race, the slower people will be, left behind, and the faster people will ultimately win. It's just how life is. But in a marathon, life, it's not about who wins first, it's about if everyone is able to make it to the finish line. So so when you talk about marathon, even the fastest person will get in first place, of course, but even the slowest person, if they have enough pace, they're able to finish the marathon on time. So that's example I'm comparing with the education system, is that when you give the examinations, regardless of whether you get the higher marks or the lower marks, it's not always going to decide who you become and what your future is. Although I do admit that it has a part to play in, let's say, the application to universities and all of that. However, that will be the case regardless, because there is no other efficient way to actually verify and identify the abilities and skills of a student other than these examinations, or not, so that any system of teaching has found yet. So that's what I'm trying to say, is that to eliminate exams before grade 8 is completely wrong, because what will happen is eventually all of that, let's say a student who doesn't understand grade 6, or let's say grade 2, there are some students, of course, with learning disabilities, or maybe even the students who aren't able to understand the material. They move on to the next grade regardless. They go through the same procedure, they move on to the next grade. They still haven't understood anything, and it all builds up. And eventually, okay, after you've graduated from grade 8, now you're in grade 9, and all of that will eventually hit you all at once. And when all of that pressure hits you all at once, it'll be very, very heavy. You won't be able to understand anything. You won't be able to focus. You'll always just constantly be stressed. All of that stress will hit you at once. And this will be very negative, obviously, because, all this negative emotion hitting you at once, a lot of it's a lot of, like, a built up pressure and tension that, I have to learn this, I have to learn that and this. Since you haven't been able to keep up with your previous years, it'll hit you all at once, and it'll actually cause a greater negative effect than maybe, let's say, oh no, I failed this examination once. Okay, it's fine, I can take it next year, right? But then, to get all those years, you missed the education, you've missed the knowledge and the materials, because you simply did not understand it at the time. But you couldn't tell anyone. You didn't, like, no one knew you didn't understand it because you didn't take an examination. So all those years, basically, you could say, have gone missing, simply because there was no way to, you didn't even know that, oh, I need to know this, I need to understand this in order to actually proceed to the next level. So that's just my point for now. Okay, that's all I have to say for right now.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rayhan. Now, since we've went over the limit, I'll give the last chance to speak to Mr. Abrar, and then we could call it off.
Okay, okay. I heard someone said like exams they make you like remember things. I realize many people they do the exam like they learn the topics. Okay, they do the exam and khalas. They don't remember anything. Like, literally they forget everything. And exams under grade 8 like makes like you are a really intelligent person. You think a lot, but you don't like to study. You study but you don't get good grades. So people would criticize you. They'll be like, even your parents will be like, why didn't you do this? You're like really bad. And then forget our parents will say it, but then your classmates, they'll also eventually start making fun of you. The students that are like good at studies will brag about it, because like they learned but they just memorized it, they didn't understand, and then they'll be like bragging about their grades. And then because of exams many people stay behind. Like someone should have stayed in like grade let's just say grade 8, but they're stuck in grade 6 because they didn't understand. And many people are like autistic. They'll be like they don't understand certain things, and then they'll just fall behind because of exams. And then because of these exams many people die, many people get stressed, many people go through depression. And these are like the problems with the exams. Some curriculums like make the exams harder, like they'll teach small things, but then during the exam they'll make it hard and in a really high level. So that's why like kids get stressed, and then eventually do commit bad things.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abrar. So I see that Tafim is back. Would you like to quickly end off the session with a conclusion? So,
Yeah, yeah. So I would, since I got disconnected, so I would like to counter some points. Uh, so the thing is, what Mr. Raihan has said is that this it is life that the faster students, they it's not about how fast you go, like how early you go, but it is about, it's like a marathon. Life is a marathon. But then the thing is, yes, life is a marathon. That is the reason at first you don't need to have exams. You need to learn properly, and then at first the exams to us it may not appear hard, but then it is hard for those like underdeveloped minds. What they need to worry about is the way of learning. So if they are worried about the way of learning and whatever the contents and the items they learn, rather than just preparing for a final big exam that regards their promotion, then I think it is wrong to really learn for the sake of that, because undergraded you don't even know what you're going to become. So just learn the general thing so that it may better your lives. After that you can decide whatever you want and choose your subjects accordingly. So that is a different thing, because when you choose the subjects you take the responsibility for giving exams for those subjects. But when you are small, you are taught general things. So you need to just learn just for the sake of knowledge, not for the sake of exams. Now, many of the teachers, they might say that, yeah, the exams are really there to test you. They are really there, but you need to learn for the sake of knowledge. How does society view us? It's not, and we cannot just blame on the parents for raising the kids, blame on the school, blame on the education system, but not blame on the examination. The examination is the sole purpose why they are really like they are really like treating us bad just because of our marks. Now marks, some may be gifted in some other fields. Why not really encourage your son in those fields rather than just forcing him into these kind of exams? So when you're small, you don't need to really think about these exams being the main part, these exams being the sole reason why you study. So under grade 8, when you are literal underdeveloped and you are really playful, you don't really know what's life yet, it's about to hit you in grade 9, 10, because most of us who have passed grade 9, 10, and we're in 11th and about to pass grade 11, we know that life suddenly became like a little type of like it became harder, and it really hit us in a way that we did not think that it would when we were smaller. So thing is, just keep the learning to the small ones and really make the big ones responsible, because they choose the subjects, and make them give exams for the subjects they choose, not for the general ones. You can just learn them in the class, and the teachers can make sure of that, and the school can make sure of that via projects, via quizzes, via games, and via other methods of learning that are more useful, not through exams or a very monotone piece of black and white paper that you cannot even really see the diagrams properly in that.
thank you very much, Mr. Tafim. So, does anyone else want to speak? Because the session has been continuing for a long time. I see that Raihan Ahmed has raised his hand. Would you like to speak, or do we call it off?
I do have some points to refute, but as for the sake of the time, I'll
Yeah.
actually hold off. So because I understand that a lot of people, it might inconvenience them to lengthen the session, so I won't be saying anything.
Okay, thank you very much, regardless, for coming. Thank you, everyone, for coming. But before we end the meeting, as the debate has come to a conclusion, I'd like to hand over the stage to Mr. Kaja Ahmed and the respected judges. So, yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Ragib Nihal Sadab. Ragib Nihal Sadab, you can continue question and answer for a few minutes, and then our honorable judges will select the best speaker. Okay, so you can carry on the question and answer session. And
Okay.
I request our honorable judges and honorable advisor of Bangladesh Engineers and Architects Worldwide, Engineer Moajum Hossain, Engineer Rafiqul Islam Tarukdar, and Engineer Khaja Ahmed. Bhai, please give us the judgment in our group who is the best selector, best speaker today. And in the meantime, Ragib Nihal, you can carry on the question and answer. Thank you very much.
Okay. So now we're segmented into the question and answer session. So if anyone has questions, they can raise them. If not, we'll just give it to the seniors. So does anyone have any questions? Yes, Mr. Abrar.
I have a question for the people who are favoring exams should be necessary before grade 8. Like, why? Why do you think it's necessary? Like, you are supporting something that
I think that
kills.
was. I think that answer was in the debate.
No, like, I'm just. I forget about that.
All right.
Okay, it's fine. Any other questions? Okay, it doesn't seem like so. Yes, I'd like to hand it over to Mr. Khaja Ahmed, please.
Well, I think I have some general questions to all of you. Participated in the session in 3 topics, all together. Some of, and you feel, whoever is feeling convenient to answer, then please do that. My first question that comes to my mind is about the exam, the need of exam, that particular issue. The question is, who invented this exam first, where from it came, and actually who is behind the decision making in the education system. If I put it in another way, let's say the education system is decided by the government. Now, if the government people, it means the political people. And these political people, they do not have any educational background. It means they became politician not by appearing at any exam, competitive exam, and that made them qualified politician. So if I say these people are disqualified politicians, now coming to the helm of the power and then deciding the fate of the other people who are qualified, then where is the balance? Where is the balance? Why this system is taking place all over the world, that the qualified people are at the hand of the disqualified people? Anybody can answer.
Henry Fischel made the exam.
I think we have all talked except Mr. Ragib. How would you like to answer? Would you like to answer, the host?
I mean, that's a pretty difficult question, and it could be a bit controversial. So the question is basically, why are the political parties in charge of the educational system? Like, are they the ones who gave rise to this educational system that we know today? Why is it not the people who are qualified that are the ones who are deciding what the best education system is? Is that the question that you're asking?
I'm asking the fate of the so many people who lost their life, the children, the students, because of these exams, because of these the bad results, and but even going back into the history, that why not living without this? Life would have become much easier. I mean, if those people, like you said, okay, it's a playful life at the early age, and then life becomes matured and harder at the age of grade 8 and onwards, then why, this is the second question, then why the playful teachers not taking the class of these hard 8, 9, 10, 11 and make their life playful, like those children in the earlier days, earlier years, and vice versa. These 8, 9, 10 teachers must have experience of kindergarten, the KG classes as well. So they understand how to take classes for the children and at the same time make life easier and playful for the senior students. Why it is not taking place?
Okay, so I'd like to just touch on the topic for a bit. So yeah, I do agree that back then, like hundreds of years ago, I think the educational system was nowhere near as it is nowadays, right? People used to have lovely childhoods where they could have fun. They didn't have final exams or board exams to worry about in the early ages because I don't think, I think it's mainly because of how much power the government has nowadays because uh, they've grown so much in power that they can basically control everything that goes on, the educational system, how the country works, and everything is under just one entity, the government. And I think, well, it's a bit controversial, but I think they are basically catering the educational system to their own needs because before the school, there were no schools really back then. People didn't have to study for exams like we do right now. That's why suicide rates weren't really that high before. And nowadays, since the government has so much power and influence over the whole world, they're basically creating, I don't know, like money machines, money hungry machines and robots in the schools. They don't care if they're having fun or not. They just want the work done. They just want all the power they want. As you said, the political parties that are running the world right now, we don't even know exactly who's behind everything in the world, to be honest. It might not even be the government. It could be someone else. I don't know. So I said it's pretty controversial. So yeah, it's you did say that they were uneducated and they should not be the ones who decide what goes on in the educational system. But that's the thing. They have the most power and they can do whatever they want. They can brainwash us. They can I don't know, do whatever they want, basically. They don't care if kids are having fun or not. As long as their work is being done, it's all good for them. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
Can I follow up with that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, if everything was in place, then the world would be a dream. It would be paradise on earth type of thing. But that is just a dream. Whatever happens here, the reality of the world is everybody just really, they don't really care about anything else. They just want to put food on their table, want to build as many buildings as possible. They want to have as many cars as possible. They just want to pocket the cash they find. So it's all business. So we students try to learn as much as possible, but at the end of the day, the university, the loans they give, it's all business. It's all depending upon the interest. It's all about how much profit they can make. The developed countries like America or Canada, they are providing facilities to the students so that from the developing countries where it is morally correct for them to be a part of the development of their own nation, they are being brain drained into the already developed country. So it's all a scheme in order to develop each other own country. So what I say is that many Bangladeshi people, they just want to go to Canada because they provide so many facilities. If it was morally correct, you would rather be a part in Bangladesh and make it more developed and be a part of their development rather than going where the facilities are being provided. So Canada knows that. And since they have the money, since they have the fame, since they have the development factor already, so they just attract more individuals and they give citizenships. So the people, they switch teams from their nations to the already developed ones. So the rich get richer, the powerful, they get more powerful, and the poor ones, they just stay where they are. and they are the ones that lost. So it is really not fair. So we don't even know who controls. Maybe the higher officials at government, they are most of them are corrupt. So when they are corrupt, so they are being controlled by the one who has all the cash that they can provide to the minister or the MP or the government that really wants the money. Because at the end of the day, nobody, if the people really wanted to do good in this world, we wouldn't have corruption. Since there is corruption, it is because the ones who are supposed to be at the justice level, who are supposed to be at the authority, they are the ones who are corrupt, because they just, at the end of the day, they do not care. They do not care about the common people, because the common people are nothing to them. They're just people they can use for the others to vote for them. So they will say, I promise to do this, I promise to do that. Trust me, this is just because to be voted. For example, I went to Bangladesh, and where I live, the MP, he is Firdos Ahmed. He was an actor. So before his election took place, he came and he shook hands of everyone on the street. No matter poor or rich, he shook the hands of everyone, and he said something like, "Please make dua for me so that I am able to make this world a better place for you all." Trust me, after election, if he gets into that power, he won't even really look at anything. So, if the people are corrupt, they just use the common people, and they just give promises in order for their own benefit. So they're corrupt because they're taking the money for their own benefit. They don't care. If they cared, then there wouldn't be any corruption in the world. Because if the authority, who are at a greater power than you, if they are asking you to stop something, you have to stop. But if somebody else controls them for their own benefit, so where is the corruption at? Where's the justice at? It's all in the God's hands at this point. That's what I think.
Mr. Abrar, would you like to add on?
I have a question for you. Which topic are you supporting? Should exams be like eliminated or not?
Oh, I think I'm with you. I think that they should be eliminated, because I like the solutions that you guys proposed, like the quizzes and stuff like that. I think they're more practical, and I think, as I said, the world is changing, and we need to change our education system to cater around the changing world. So I think that's the new step that humanity must take.
See, we are correct.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's all the students have to say. I think I'll give the mic to the seniors.
Okay, thank you very much for the excellent speaking session and the debate. And I believe everybody enjoyed. Now I just want to get the feedback. Last 10 session, including this session, we spoke about the three topic. So should we keep 3 topic or 2 topic? Because time is almost 1 hour 30 minutes. So can we keep 2 topic? One is general topic and another is debate, or 3? It's okay. Our honorable advisor Moazzem Bhai, engineer Moazzem Bhai, and Rafibul Islam Bhai যদি কিছু বলতেন।
রফিক ভাই কিছু বলেন। রফিক ভাই আছে নাকি লেফট করছে?
Yes, I am here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Actually, today's session is very much enjoyable. Actually, that we aimed for such interactive session. Actually, from personally, my suggestion to fix one topic, as because we switch to the debate, and debate is very important for learning process. So I would suggest to switch to fix one topics, not even 2 topics. So in that perspective, actually debate will be more enjoyable, and our debater will concentrate more to the subject, to the topics. Number one. Number two, I want to tell something about today's debate. Actually, if the in favor and against the topics, if our debater and participants, if they would mention some best practices all about the world elsewhere, so that would be more fruitful for all the participant. Actually, our debater did not give any example of what's happening elsewhere in the world, and the best practices. Suppose what is the system in Europe, what sustains their what the system they're following, pursuing in Europe, in Pacific countries, and this Atlantic, South America, and North America, what process they follow. So that I would expect from our participant, the debater. So that was absent. So I hope in the next session of debate, so they will give good example and best practices, what's pursuing all about the world and other part of the area. And actually, during our time, even Mozambique will agree with us, because there is a fun among us. As a student life like that, student life is very sweet if there is no exam. So, like that, so we used to believe student life is very sweet unless there is exam. So that is going to happen till class 8. So that is in favor and against. So the debate was very interesting. Both sides actually took part, and they raised their judgment nicely. Both parties actually make it more enjoyable for us. So that is good. The first time, personally, I have enjoyed. So in favor and against, so they raise their judgment properly. Okay, so regarding this, is what will happen? Actually, this is a very hot topics in Bangladesh perspective. Actually, elimination of exam till class 8. I think what happened, positive side is it will upgraded. People's dropout will drop student dropout will reduced. I think if the exam is eliminated from 8th grade, so by that way we can drop out our students from the school level. So that's why to some extent we can favor and support the elimination of exam till class 8. Okay, some others part also, so they also proper they raise their argument and logics and nicely. Anyway, judgment is there. So finally we'll see. Mr. Reza will declare the judgment. Okay, with these few words, just I would like to conclude here. Okay, so next we can hear from Mojambai or some others. Okay, all
Thank
the
you very
best.
much, Engineer
night.
Rafiqul Islam, Honorable Advisor of Bangladeshi University Worldwide. Now I want to thanks to everybody, all participants, and all engineers, Engineer Akbar Hussain, Engineer Alamgir Hussain, Engineer Khaja Ahmed, Engineer Ogroni Ahmed, Engineer Muhammad Ashraful Alam, Engineer Rabiul Islam, Engineer Shaidul Islam. Thank you very much. Now, I want to invite our guest speaker from Bangladesh, Khaja Ogroni Ahmed. Can you speak for a very short speech on the topic today? And end of the session, our honorable advisor, Engineer Muhammad Muazzam Hossain, give his speech and declare today's best speaker of today's session. Okay, Khaja Ogroni Ahmed, you are invited to speak. Khaja Ogroni Ahmed, are you here?
Yeah, okay. I think you are talking about Arjani, Khaja Arjani Ahmed. Well, Arjani, if you have anything to say.
Khaja Arjani is not in the line.
Arjani, if you are here on line, please speak up.
Okay, I believe.
All right. Okay. Right. Fine.
Okay.
Then, I think I agree with the proposal that okay, there should be only one topic when debate is on. So when we have debate in the agenda, I think that itself is a major one. And my suggestion is that if the panel or the other senior people in the group um, can make an initiative to make a list of topic for debate. Like this is 2024 started, and now this is the first thing of the year. We have done with a nice, lovely, very practical topic that people are talking about it. This way, if you can, make other interesting things of life, let's put it from life, not blah 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 to please somebody else. It is all that is coming from our own life, little children and then adults and seniors at all ages that we are facing issues. And those issues actually need to be debated. Otherwise, it is lost. It is totally lost, and life becomes meaningless. I think debate will bring those things back to life, and it makes it more meaningful. So, and that once that list is done, let's say once a month or bi-monthly, whenever the debate topic comes in, and then we can list them up for the whole year, and then we can see, okay, now depending on that list, people will give their name beforehand in advance. So we get the debaters already known who is going to talk about on which topic beforehand. So it's not opening up on the day of the topic and then we are inviting people. I think that way we will be much better organized, and then things will be done also nice manner. My other point about the online safety, privacy, that initial topic that was given, I think it's very practical topic, but I think one point that I can take from that one is the VPN. I think VPN issue, it was Sinan who suggested this. And by saying this, he said government even cannot have access to the privacy and safety. I mean, my question is that, are you sure about it? I mean, because our government is the champion in breaking the privacy. Because they are controlling the whole system, and it says all in openly. There's nothing secret about that. It's all open. Like if you write anything like this, 10 years of prison. If you do this and that, the question is all negative, negative, negative. Okay, talking about online safety, privacy, it's all negative for poor Bangladeshis, right? Now, the question is whether this VPN issue, is that really true or not? That's my point. Otherwise, yeah, the parental guidance, of course, but who cares these days? Rapanjela is there. I think life takes a different meaning with all these young bullets. Yeah, these are the young bullets for me coming up from all parts of the world. I mean, the way you debate, the way you present your points, they are really very fascinating and enjoyable. I think you made our day today, even though at the end of the day, and also made the year really quite nice. And Ragib handled it so brilliantly, and also controlled it in such a manner. I think that gives another example to others, how to manage a forum like this, and while many people are deviating and then going off track, and with his brilliant control he could make it all in track, and that's nice thing to observe. And I think this will be there in YouTube. The technique of managing and the controlling a forum like this will be many viewers helpful for that. when they watch this YouTube later on. And the debaters, you made your points. In many ways, you wanted to make it clear, but it was not really that much clear in many areas. Like you took your time to make your point, but those points were not really heavily based and founded, not well founded. And one thing, telling several times actually doesn't mean anything. Once you said one point, that is done on record. People has taken record on that, but repetition of one simple thing will not bring additional points for that. I think a debate was really lively. Those who came late, because if you come late and you are joining late, not present right from the beginning, that shows also that you are not punctual. You know, the punctuality is also is something. It is part of debate, and you are very much in discipline. And people, all debaters should be there, present right from the beginning. Like Ragib was asking to raise hands. I think at that time everybody should be present and not coming and going situation like this. I salute everyone for also talking about sympathy and empathy, but you know, these are all humanitarian issue, you know, but not a very intelligent issue. You know, once you are intelligent, then you are not sympathetic, not empathic. Okay, you are intelligent. So life is for intelligent people, not for emotionals. Now we are talking about emotional intelligence. You see, that's how you cook. You cook in that manner. Okay, how to sell your concept to the poor audience. They are already suffering, and you're making them suffer more. Now the question is, life should be more easier. Yeah, like you said, your early playful life. It should be there all around. And Rafiq Bhai said, okay, without exam, that is the childhood expectations. I think all children, all school going children will say the same thing. Yeah, why to make our life difficult and complicated? Why can't you invent something else? There are many ways of assessing a student's ability. Many different ways of, I mean, just a simple task you give to the children themselves in the class. Okay, you give me a set of criteria for assessing a student. What is the best you think, because you are suffering, so you propose me how best I can assess you, and you will get immediately all the criteria for assessing. And this traditional exam system is, I don't think is valid anymore in today's advanced world, in terms of technology, in terms of all app that you are using. Duolingo and all other lingos are all flying around. And why then you are not limiting yourself to only to the book, in the traditional manner of just bookish reading and then getting knowledge from there, and all the memorization and everything, vomiting coming from that side. So elimination, I think it's a question of replacing the old dirty method of learning by the modern system of learning, and which is much better and more meaningful for each and everyone. Our children will be ready to take our future leadership if we can give them that tool right from today, 2024 now, and instead of just waiting and see, okay, when the time will come to change it. So I think Ragib and his team today has shown that way. I think they should be there all the time, in touch, in future debates also, this and that way. That's my expectation from them. And a warm welcome to all of you, like this lovely year starting 2024. So with that one, it's a really dazzling start, and I should expect that similar type of things continue all over the year. And also with these young, wonderful leaders talking against these bloody exams. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Engineer Khaja Ahmed Bhai. Now I invite Honorable Advisor and today member of judges of panel, Engineer Mohammad Mojib Hossain, to deliver his speech. And at the end of the speech, Mojib Bhai will declare the best speaker today.
Thank you and appreciate all participants, including our colleagues, friends, brothers, engineers, seniors. Really, it was very, very interesting. I enjoyed a lot. I have only two things to say as a common practice or common thinking that exam, that's point, debate point I'm coming. If there is, we have the session for debating, it should be only one, better. We get long time and then student will get much more freedom to speak. And then if there is no debate that session, that two topics will be more than enough. So not to be the three. That's the idea. Debate session will be only one that day, no other things. And if there is no debate, then we can go for this two session, but should be fruitful, as our brother Engineer Khaza told the same thing. I agree, and Rafiq Bhai also told the same thing. I agree with them. Anyway, I'm very much happy to see. I learned lots of things. I mean, I can say, if I lost this session, if missed this session, really I could lost many things. Now I learned many things from all guys. Really, they are the student, but I feel they have lots and huge maturity. And this they discussion, the way they talk and they speak and then debate each other, and the idea about the sympathy and the empathy and overall the security. Yes, they touch some points at their levels. So hopefully in future they will learn more, and it's okay. If the things are like as everybody advised, I agree with the line with our seniors. They are correct, but you know, the one question I'm telling you: if there is exam system, the practice we are talking about our country. If you think about the other, the Western pattern, they have exam only grade 11, 12. That level they have the exam. No other exam is there because they already habituated and they have the practice to get it. Our country is moving this way to remove this or eliminate. Alternative option is there. We cannot say the no elimination of the exam. No, it is alternative option. There is exam, but the different way, not this like conventional system. So different modern system adapting, as our brother Khaza, Mr. Khaza, Engineer Khaza is telling the same thing. Yes, there is alternative system, and that can be more utilize your brain, more like exercise your brains, and then you can discover lots of things. The way and the if you just change the traditional system and come up with new ideas, that is that we agree on it. So that's the exam is not the only the things to judge and to pressurize the students or to judges him by 1 day, 2 hours or 3 hours exam. This 1 year assessment evaluation, really it is we cannot say the right practice. However, you know, the when the exam is there, even the grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up to that, the parents are having lots of burden with the students because they have to learn. I mean, they have to run after the teachers for the tuition. The private tutor is required for all the cases, and it is burden for the parents and the students also. And he's not getting time to like move around by his own. No, he's binding with the limitation. That's his exam, and he has this thing, he had that thing, tuition there, private tutor there. So he's seated at the home continuously. So that's why there is no way to get exposure and to learn outside from the environment or the like neighbors or the friends. They have very limited time. However, I find we should have this much of things to the parents, teachers, students, the sincerity, morality, and responsibility. All these things is coming in one at a time. If we are alternative way going for the examination system, that should be the main objectives, and that should be very much strict with these things, that we should have the sincerity, our responsibility, and at the same time our integrity, that's supposed to be with us. Then this alternative option for the end of the year, 1 day for 3 hours exam can be replaced with alternative options. That's the good. However, it is very nice. As I told, we learn a lot of things. And then today I find with our other senior friends and this our engineers and our colleague, they supported and they think that today's session, the best speaker, our lovely Tafhim from this yes group. He is the best speaker from our assessment and evaluation today. It is not like this. Everybody should be the best speaker today, because now we should just grade it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is number. It's nothing is there. You did lots, and everyone did very good things. So Abdullah Tafsin is the the first one. Our name is showing Abdullah Tafim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Abdullah Tafim is the best speaker from our assessment, our evaluation. Congratulations and best of luck. And you guys come every day, next session, we'll get another one. And end of the session, end of the year, we'll try to do something to honor you them other way. We award you something. That will be very good achievement in your life and keep with you for the whole life, to show that with the online and this organization, our Rizal Rahman and the Namzad Khan and all other things, all the panelists, they decided and they selected, or they decided to be the best speaker, best panelist, or best moderator, sometimes best chairman, will come one by one. That will be the good in future. Thank you very much. And now night is more in Bangladesh time is a little bit like now 12 around. So we should close the session. Thank you very much and appreciate all. And hopefully we'll meet again next any other session. We'll meet together. Thanks and appreciate everyone.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mahajum Hossain, Honorable Advisor, Bangladesh Engineers and Architects Worldwide. And congratulations to Abdullah Tafim for your excellent performance. And everybody, performance was excellent. And we hope that every session will find new leaders. And I'm sure that this generation will be more rational, more open-minded, and they will give us more harmonious society, living with different opinion people. And they will brighten our image of Bangladeshi in worldwide and international level. Thank you very much, all participants, all engineers and architects. See you for the next session. Khuda Hafiz.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
And good night.
Good night.
Good night and thank you. See you next session.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank